Hello guys, how are we doing and welcome back to the Help with Harrz episodes where I review your gameplays in order to make you a better player on MW3 rank play is the main focus. Today we're reviewing Harrz's, and before we get into all the details, for those of you who are new to the series, I essentially run through this form which you have to submit. If you want to submit a form or submit a gameplay, just click the link down in the description, complete the form, link a YouTube video or a Twitch VOD, and send it over. Once I've reviewed this form, knowing where you want me to focus, I then review your gameplay from the start to finish, and then at the very end I give you a handful of tips which hopefully you can take away and work on and focus on to improve your gameplay, followed by a potential rank I see you being able to achieve at the end of it. So let's kick it off. So today we're reviewing Harrz's. They play on new gen console, 20 hours a week, so that's about 3 hours a day or just shy of 3 hours a day. Current rank Plat 2, highest rank is Diamond 2. So they're way behind their peak currently on MW3 compared to what they were on Diamond 2, but it is still relatively early in the game's life cycle, so perhaps that's all the reason is. Sensitivity, 6.6 with a 1 ADS, fine. That's absolutely perfect settings with a 105 FOV, nothing wrong to say about that. They have a upgraded PS5 controller, SteelSeries Arctic 7P plus, so a stacked setup, and they're pretty much getting the maximum capability out of their PlayStation possible for COD as well. What would you like me to focus on in your gameplay? How I engage with fights, movements, when to maintain high ground and watch over or just jump on the point, and then general reaction time, spawn sometimes, and consistency. So let's kick it off. So we have a Karachi control here. Let me move my head so you can see the minimap. There we are. So we have a little bit of a Karachi control here, where we are on defense to start, so that's a really strong position to be in, I believe. So good read on the guy top third, pretty much that's guaranteed, so I like that. We've jumped down there, which is a fairly brave thing to be doing. Now if we take that a few steps back, so you get the kill top third, which the enemy's gonna know where you're pretty much coming from because of where you just shot. But from this position, you've got a great amount of map control. You've got the whole of top third pretty much. I mean, you're not quite there, but you've pretty much got this whole side of the map. In order for them to flank round to your spawn and spawn trap you, they pretty much have to get by you. So this is really good map control. And from here, you pretty much have the opportunity. I mean, let's say this guy isn't on the hill. You have the opportunity to get into their spawn, get into broken, and pretty much get them in the spawn trap. So you don't want to jump from here whatsoever. That plus you have teammates push through red and push through their spawn, which pretty much tells you they're probably going to spawn in back right, but they can help. They can be there to help. But the third thing I've already noticed is that you've got a stun and a nade that you didn't use. So in this situation, you could have stunned sort of here and, you know, wiped out. Okay, if I didn't hit anyone with a stun there, you can guarantee that no one was on this half of the map, which then, or this half of this little square, and then that pretty much lowers the probability of them being here and means they're probably in either of the two of those. And then you could have used your nade, throw it into this bit, for example, here. If it kills them, great. If not, you know they're going to be here, and then you can chow from a little bit afar. But you can wait for your teammates there. You don't want to give up that map control to do that every time. But yeah, that's fine. You die as a result, but it's not the end of the world. So they're on B. You do have a teammate there. I like that you checked that instead of just running straight for B. That's a nice little play. And your team does manage to get to the point. Cool, you chase the red dot, you got the kill, I like that. Just for future reference, however, you can be top AC. If you lay down, you can see through the windows and kill them, but if you do got the kill, you'd probably run in here anyway, so it probably wasn't... I don't know why I mentioned it, pretty much. Okay, so there's one there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like the whole army of them here. Yeah, so there's a way you probably could have read those spawns. Now, if we take a look, let's take a step back here, without even knowing they're even pushing B whatsoever, you have a teammate pushed up towards their bottom middle, so like towards P3 area here. You've got another teammate top third, or top second. On control, this is the most basic spawns of control. You pretty much have spawns middle, left, and right. So on Karachi, there's a spawn just the other side of red. If you imagine this map sort of bursts out a little bit here, you then have a spawn in market, and then you have a spawn back middle. Now, your teammates are pretty much pushed up this half of the map, which is going to leave this spawn open. The only reason they wouldn't spawn there is if you had a teammate sort of blocking the other side of red, and in which case they're spawned in the depths of their spawn. So the fact that you've got two teammates pushed up the right-hand side of the map, they're going to spawn left because you've got no one here. So you could have probably read that. But yeah, they're going to keep spawning there as well. I mean, you die there, they're going to keep spawning there. If you've got someone top third or broken, like where that player is, on your team. They're going to keep spawning the other side of red over and over and over again until you have somebody on your team pushed out that side of the building. So your teammate makes a nice little flank there, does enough to, you know, bring it to a little bit of a halt. And nice, I like this. You're not over-challenging, you're sort of waiting for your team to get there, although you're also not sat in the corner just waiting to die. I like that, but again, looking at the minimap, I don't think your teammate's moved from the other side of the map. You've got no presence towards the other side of the red. I would bet my life on the fact they're going to be pretty much just sprinting through red over and over and over again, because they're going to be spawning pretty much in red, or just the other side of red. But it's nice, you got the map, you have a little bit of map awareness there, so you know that's where they're going to be coming from. You are stair glitching, which is obviously frowned upon, but hey, it's rank play, who cares really? But nice, so you've made this map progression here, which means they're no longer going to be able to spawn here. Just for note, this is where they spawn, just in this X area here. That's where they spawn if you're not here, so obviously that's very close to B. But you've pushed through here, you've got map control, your teammates are still top broken, which means that they've pretty much got the whole of the right hand side, and it means the enemy team are going to just keep spawning in the bottom of their spawn, at the back of their spawn pretty much. So nice, good kills. I'd like to see, you've got a custom PS5 controller. I'd have liked to have seen you use one of the buttons on there, because I know there's 100, to maybe put ping as it, and then you can ping, especially if you're a solo queuer quite a lot, pinging enemies or live marking enemies. It obviously helps your teammates out massively, and just makes you a little bit more likely to get the dub. So this guy, I don't know how he's got through. Your teammates are unbroken. I don't know how he's leaked through. I don't think that's on you. I'm not going to criticize you from losing that gunfight. You were half there up the ladder, but it's what it is. I think that's pretty much the round now. Okay, good round. I think they got 3 ticks. A little bit more spawn knowledge, and they perhaps didn't get the 2 ticks at B, but that's absolutely fine. So on control, I don't know how basic I'm going here, but obviously you can skip ahead. Oftentimes it's a win-lose, and then round 5 is determined by who has more ticks on the offense. So realistically, defense on many maps, this one included, is a lot easier to win on, and as a result you want to try and get more ticks than the enemy. So the enemy team that round, I believe, got 3 ticks. If it's, I mean, you're not in a 4-man, so it's a little bit more difficult, but I would try and guarantee 3 ticks on this round, and then if you happen to get 4, great, you're that much ahead of your team, the enemy team. So yeah, in short, if they only got 3 ticks on their offense, just run at A, get 3 ticks immediately. It gives you 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes, depending on how quickly you get it, to get B, or get 1 tick at B, and therefore you're ahead before you even get into the next round. So yeah, maybe just bear that in mind if you are in a 4-man, but your teammates ping B. I don't know, maybe go with them, I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a tricky one. I don't like going to B first myself. Okay, let's see what happens here. So this is a real sticky situation. Excuse me. So you just have 2 teammates coming off spawn, so they're pretty much going to be spawning back here. If you stretch this map out, you and your teammate here both jumped onto A, which means this left this whole left street open. Pretty much the whole of church was open, and it meant that the gunfights that you take through here or vending are going to be 50-50 gunfights. If anything, these are going to be shooting down at you from here, which means they're going to probably win it because they have a height advantage, whereas this gunfight is pretty much a 50-50 gunfight. So you've gone from having a 70% chance of winning your gunfights against someone here, 80% chance of winning against someone here, and like big chance of winning gunfights down to your left, to having barely any gunfights in your favor because you hold the point. Control, as I've said before, is all about map control. You want to try and maintain that where possible, because especially considering you have 2 guys off spawn, you both die here, you're stuck in spawn over and over again, just, you know, being recycled in an absolute blend. Now, it may be miscommunication because you are solo queuing. Perhaps if you saw that guy in your team jump down first, you'd have said up there, I don't know. But as long as you take from the fact, what I'm saying is just keep map control, especially on offense on this map, because it's so easy to get put into a blender, which I wouldn't be surprised now, looking at this, your whole team's just going to keep spawning here over and over and over again, and you're going to be in a blend. But somehow your teammates got through. I don't know whether they got kills in the kill cam. But that's one thing I do want to say. You are watching kill cams. I'm going to write that down. But yeah, you are watching kill cams. I like that. It gives you information, considering you're a solo queuer. It gives you information that you wouldn't have otherwise. You see blue dots on the kill cams through walls. Now, this situation could have been dealt with a little bit differently, or a little bit better. You just had 3 teammates die. Your teammate who died last was on B. Now they're going to be looking at them. They're going to be aware of the kill feed. They're going to be going, okay, we need one more kill. Chances are they're going to be pushing B because the last enemy that we just killed was on B. So they're going to be looking this way. You would have been far more beneficial for your team to play for kills here. You have information that a guy's top red because they just shot, and there's a guy in B. So if this was me, I'd have played for the kill top red, maybe, and then from top red challenge the guy on B, and then maybe got a kill. If not, it's fine. But what you do from being top red is, let's say you get the kill here, you then have the overlook of this entire side. Your teammates then can run off spawn all the way to B without being worried about getting picked off from top red or vending, because you're pretty much going to be covering that area. So if you're last alive in a situation like this, play for the kill and try and get yourself into a position to open up the map for your team, who are hopefully going to be following you. Do not try and do it yourself, because it's a 1v4 essentially at this point. That's fine. So you spawned close, which means they're probably pushed up broken, or they've just, your teammates at B, and which they are here. So you've been naded, you've been stunned there. Another nade. Okay, so this is a little bit of a sticky situation, but again, you're not using your attacks very much, so you could have stunned over. You've got two enemy players in front of you, both higher than you, so they may be one may be top red, one's maybe AC. If you throw a stun over this block here, it will stun them, obviously, but that will give you a little bit of a benefit in taking on that gunfight. That, or you can use that as a little bit of a way to maneuver, because they're not going to be able to turn as quickly if they are stunned. So if you try and get through A, they're probably not going to be able to track you. That, or you have a nade to damage them. And there's plenty you can do here that will make this gunfight a little bit more favorable for you. But you Chow, again, it's sort of a 50-50 gunfight, although they do have a little bit of height. But you have a heady, which is why I'm saying it's still 50-50. But yeah, this is a real sticky situation to be in. I imagine we lose this round. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So I don't know how many ticks you did get. None. Yeah, so they're 3 ticks ahead, which obviously is not, which is definitely not what you want. So it appears you're taking pretty much the exact same route as you did before, which I don't mind. People are, play it in patterns. This guy's probably, this guy's up here again. That's a very good read. And you're doing the exact same thing as before. However, this time you have a teammate to help you here. So let's see how this plays out. Yeah, you didn't need to drop down there whatsoever. Trust your teammate to get the kill here. Again, you've lost map control. What happens if you stay up here is you maintain control of top third, which means you can pretty much cut off this side of the map because you can see it from here. But it also means you can push up into broken and look across their side of the map. The only problem with pushing all the way up to broken is that the enemy team will spawn the other side of red unless your teammates are pushed up there. So I sort of don't mind it, but you've lost easy map control just to kill one guy where your teammate probably would have killed them anyway. But other than that, I don't mind it. You hip fired, which is fine. It's actually not bad anymore, hip firing. But again, you're having to look up here because you're so conscious of the fact you lost that map control. You've then got killed. You've again getting shot by someone top red, getting shot by someone barrels. Both of those gunfights would have been heavily in your favor if you stayed top red, because your teammate realistically probably would have got the kill on the guy on the point. But nice little bit of movement. You're snaking, and you brought one down. That's the most you can ask for. It's a really sticky situation. You brought one guy down with you. That's absolutely fine. So you seem to be conscious of them being pushed through B, but you shouldn't be. If you look at the minimap there, your teammates literally just ran all the way through bottom red in towards their spawn, which means that they're not really going to be pushed into red whatsoever. So this is a really good opportunity. While 99% of the focus on the map is towards A, is to push through red and get into their spawn, hopefully enabling them to spawn far out. So they've just, your teammates have just all died there, and you're backing up. Now, I mean, good read. I don't mind that whatsoever. But you're backing up. You're giving them so much map control here. If, whilst you were in that situation, you decided that you wanted to, push into red, that would have been absolutely fine. But what's happening here is no one's blocking the back red spawns, which means they're pretty much spawning as close to B as you will be spawning. Which I don't mind because you're getting the kills. You're absolutely fine. But realistically, it's going to be really hard for your team to alleviate any pressure. If you go 3 down, they're going to be close to the hill as you are, and they're probably just going to hop it and win the round. I always say there's a reason why, other than the fact that it's going to adjust spawns, you should push up the map. And the reason for that is, if let's say you're in this situation, you lose this gunfight, they're going to be on B by the time you spawned in. However, if you've pushed up into their spawn between the objective and where they're spawning, and you lose a gunfight, by the time you spawn in, they're pretty much where you were when you died, and as a result, it's a 50-50 to the hill. And that's a far better situation to be in than you've just died on B. By the time you spawn in, they're already on B. So yeah, that's why, other than adjusting spawns and spawning them out a little bit, that's another reason why, yeah, I'm going to get onto this in a minute, I've just noticed this. That's another reason why you want to push up the map. And this guy up here is very detrimental to the team. And that's because he's blocking the spawn back here and the spawn back here, leaving this spawn open because no one's there. He should only really be here if he's got a teammate, you know, pushed in towards like P5 here. But he hasn't, and as a result, that's going to be where they're spawning. So you've just fallen, you've just died, you spawned yellow, white van, and that's because they're spawning bottom red. So it's a really sticky predicament. Your teammates put you in here. You're spawning just as far out towards B as they are, and that's not what you want to happen. They do get a trade, thankfully. Let's see if there's anything else they can do. No, that's GG. Okay, 2-1. Let's see what we can do on our offense. So I see we sort of learned from the first offense here in that you're pushing with your team towards B, which you've in your head you've gone, okay, I'm not going to make them come A with me. I may as well play with them and trust that's what's going to happen. But this is a really strong start. You've got 2 kills towards this side of the map. Yeah, that's tough. So this isn't a good spot where you are right now. So you've just killed 2 people towards B, and logically that means that the rest of their team are probably towards A, which means they're either going to be coming from, you know, if they're coming to kill you, they're going to be coming from top red, low vending, or in our spawn somewhere. But let's ignore that for now. The 2 guys spawning in are either going to be coming over hop up or long or yellow alley, but they could also come up from top AC. Now, in this position where you are, considering you've just killed 2 at B, so let's say 2 are coming off spawn, the only place you have cover from is here. If they come yellow, you're pretty much open. If they're up there, you're pretty much open. If they come vending from A, which they probably will because, you know, they're that side of the map, you're open. If they're red, they've got a gunfight they're open to. If they flank, again, I'm not really counting this, but it's open. You're in this position you're in, you are hindered by more line of sights that you're not. So you're not controlling a gunfight very well. Instead, I'd have liked to see you push around the back of the spawn, and you could sit on this doorway here and look over this way. That way you're watching people coming off spawn, but you're blocked by the building from anyone coming from any of these directions. So yeah, just as in short, you're open to too many avenues. It's a little bit risky of a position to be in. Meanwhile, your teammates are on A. Now, what I like to do from here, if I spawn here and I know my teammates is here, is throw a nade towards barrels. Now, barrels, if you don't know, is the little cut from the street towards A. Throw a stun over there. You're aiming for sort of here, the other side of the building. You sort of want to throw it over towards there. Throw a nade, and that basically means that if an enemy decides to push through the barrel alley towards your teammate, they're not going to be able to. So that basically means that, you know, you're just helping your teammate out somewhat, and it's better than nothing. But as a result, I think he probably dies there just because he's completely alone and he's the only one on a point. Yeah, so I don't think he dies from barrels, but that's just something that you might want to try and do in the future because it does help the teammates out if there is someone pushing through barrels, which that's one of 3 ways they could be coming from. So nice. So you got top third control. You're maintaining this map control. I'm hoping you don't jump down. I'm really hoping you don't jump down. Nice. You got the kill. I don't mind that. The only thing I would criticize about that is the fact you did have a stun and a grenade in your back pocket. Nice. You're in the perfect position to be in. It's just a little bit quiet. The only thing I would suggest is, I mean, you've still got a stun and a nade in your back pocket. There is no reason you shouldn't be either nading where you're aiming here or nading this mid-cut, just because it's going to deter the enemy, if anything, to, you know, to come and get to the objective. But that's fine. So spawn close to B. Your teammate doesn't get the trade, which is a shocker. But it's fine. You spawn back here, and now you've not spawned. So you've just spawned here, right? And you haven't spawned there when you next spawn in. So that should tell you, where are we? That an enemy has pushed through. So I would be very conscious of the fact that someone may be top bedroom or in lights or bottom red. So I'd have maybe stunned it just to check. But yeah, no one was there anyway, so it's not a problem. But it does mean that there's somewhere in bedroom. Now it's a nice use, somewhere in red. Nice use of the map there, using the sofa. I see so many people just chow the door blindly. Nice. This is a really good situation to be in. You didn't check AC there, but they weren't there, so you got a little bit lucky, but I'd have probably checked AC there to make sure they wasn't there. So we're in a pretty good position here. So I'm not saying you've cleared red, but you've pretty much got all this map control here, which means that the enemies are either going to be sort of coming from here, here, or on B itself. So you've got very good map control in this position. There may be one flanking because you just spawned out a little bit earlier on, so I'm not sure where they could be, but you maybe have one flanking. But from here, you're in a really good situation where you've got most of the map control, and they're sort of stuck into a very certain area of the map. Good kill there. You soundhawed him. I like that. Again, you've got height and you're getting kills. This is what we should have seen in the first few rounds here. Unfortunately, didn't happen, but that's absolutely fine. You get one kill, you get a second kill. Now, these kills are absolutely huge. Now, the reason why they're absolutely huge is because your teammate is here. If your teammate remains this side of the, like, over in this, near the hop-up, generally, it's going to spawn the enemy team out towards white, and it's going to spawn you close to red, which means it's going to be a very, very 50-50 run towards the B site. You do fall, unfortunately, to a guy sat back heady, but it's fine. You're going to spawn the other side of red, I imagine. Perfect. They're going to be spawning white van. It's, as I say, it's a leg race to the hill at this point. You've got to sprint there. You've got to try and get there very quickly, because they're going to be there about the same time as you off of their spawn. So I like this cautious play. You know your teammate's moved up the map. He's watching that hop up. You know there's a guy on the hill, but you're waiting for your team to sort of deal with that first. But while your team are trying to get into that position, you're offering support by watching the yellow van, yellow truck, or car, whilst you try and move at the map. So yeah, you know exactly where he is. You aim there, but he's tagging. That's fine. That's tricky. Maybe a little bit of a reaction time would have helped you there, but there's not much you could have done realistically. There's 18 seconds left. It's a 4v2 at the moment because your teammates are your teammate managed to get 2 kills. This is a super nice position to be in. The guy using lightweight is soundhawed again. Yeah, good position to be in. I like what you're doing here. So although you can watch that hop up from being in the hill, and I'd advise doing that just because, I mean, you can be anywhere in the hill and pretty much see that. You can be on the windows, you can be on the door here, looking at it. Yeah, and therefore you're doing more than one thing for your team. Blimey, the whole army's there. So you've got a stun, you've got a nade. Throw it. Throw it, throw it, throw it. It'll deter them. It'll deter them or it'll kill them. Either way, it's a good thing. Nice, good round there. The only thing is I'd have probably not played for the kills there. So considering you're pretty much guaranteed to get it, I'd have definitely not played for the kills there. I'd have waited and tried to play for the ticks because realistically the game is so tight. You're going to want every tick you can get to guarantee defense in the next round. Now, I haven't been counting the amount of ticks we've got, but it's very close. And yeah, I would have definitely not been playing for these kills. I would have definitely just, do not leave them. They're not going to get to the point by the time we've got the tick. I don't know if you got the tick anyway. It was very close. But you can see here, you've got 1, 2, 6 ticks. They've got, I mean, I don't know if this is ticks. Yeah, they've got way more. It says they've got 9 there, but I'm not sure how true that is. So I would imagine you get offense. Yes. Okay. Not a great position to be in, but we do have a cruise missile and potentially another cruise missile coming if you manage to get 2 kills without dying here. So just a little bit of a nade spot for you. From this yellow car, if you nade over broken, sort of in this area, it should land on the street and deter anyone pushing through arches or pushing through to mid from the mid street. So it's a nice S&D route as well. You sort of want to throw it over broken aiming it at the car sort of thing. There's a yellow car on the street. If you sort of know the gist of where that is, throw it over broken, over third, rather than doing this, because it will catch anyone running through barrels. I will mark it off guard and it will kill him. Probably would have killed this guy, to be fair. That guy loves a flank, doesn't he? I would be very concerned. Now, in this situation, his name's Babiago, I think, or Babijaga. I don't know how you pronounce that. But I'd just be very concerned if you're aware that he's alive. Have your wits about you. Turn around, make sure he's not behind you, because chances are that's probably going to be the case. So like this, you're aware there's an enemy on the hill. Don't quite get the kill, but that's fine. But again, you're seeing the value of being in this top third without just sprinting down it. But you are also looking for this kill. But you need to trust your teammates a little bit more there. Your teammate was watching that. You've been flanked again, or you got two flankers on the other team, unfortunately, which isn't ideal. But you've got a good amount of map control. You've got 3 people on the left-hand side of the map, which opens up the ability to get into their spawn. But you really want to get A. You've got complete A control here. Your teammates, I mean, they've got teammates in you up here, providing support, looking over them. They need to get on the point, stay down, trust you to get the kills above them. There's 39 seconds here. There's really not a lot of time. Your teammates need, this guy here needs to hop on the point. But yeah, it's a really sticky situation. I don't think your teammates are offering you much here, in the fact that I think they should be hopping the point, or at least bumping you off top third for you to get on the point. As long as someone stays top third, I think you should be fine. So nice, your teammates just hopped onto B, which is going to turn their heads a little bit. So that gives you an opportunity to hop onto the point here, which I believe you do. You're aware that someone's just top third, so you're premium this as well. I think your teammates just got him. Nice, big kills here. I've got faith you win this. If you yeah, shame about the nade. I was about to say you've got attack and a stun. Let's attack and a nade. Let's see you use it. Nice. Yeah, I don't mind the situation whatsoever. Unfortunately, you have been flanked by him. Okay, so you've just spawned in there, and again, as I say, throw your stuns, throw your nades over, because chances are they've pushed through red. And as a result, this time, I know I wasn't the first time, but this time I was a little bit correct, and he managed to get a free kill off of spawn. Now, you spawned even further out away from B, which probably means that they've pushed through, like they're in the sort of P5 area, so just be very aware. If you do manage to get onto the point somewhat, they will probably be behind you, and that's probably where he is on the minimap there. The guy shooting in office is probably the guy we're looking for. Nice, try and get some kills here. You got 30 seconds. It's probably a nice time for a cruise. You just don't want to die in that situation. That's a really tough situation to be in. But you've got your teammates actually so close to the point, and you're spawning so close to the point. Okay, this is great. This is great. An enemy has just called out a streak. By the time that streak even gets to you, 2 more of your team can probably get to B. So at the time, imagine that guy in the Predator missile is AFK for, let's say, 5 seconds before they're even influential on the map. It's a 4v3 until that kill streak has finished and called in. So you need to make the most of that. Get up the ground, get up the map as much as you can. I don't think you have time to get to B, but your teammates definitely have time to get to B here. So just try and support them from this position, from where you are. Yeah, this isn't great. This is so... I'd have either called it then at the same time. Definitely not now. Your teammates have just fallen. I know you've already pressed it, but you can Y out of it, I believe, or triangle out of it. Your teammates have just died. Realistically, there's 27 seconds left. By the time you call in the streak, let's say you get 1 kill, or maybe 2 at most. You're leaving your teammate in a 1v3, 1v4 in this point, because you're AFK. Your teammates haven't even spawned in yet. It's his job to maintain or control a gunfight against 3 people. So it's really tough. You should have probably supported him and try and got map control for your teammates spawning in. But we'll see how this cruise goes. Yeah, we can't even... that's a bummer. Can't even control the cruise, so I would have most definitely not called it in if you'd have already known that that was the case. But there's 13 seconds there. Good 2-piece. You're aware there's an enemy behind you. Nice. Yeah, you should have read this. I'm not sure what the center room was about. So, your teammate has just... They're not in your room, so let's put an X there. They're not where the teammate is, so let's put an X there. They're definitely not there, because otherwise they'd have chowed your teammate. And you've already checked this corner visually, so they know you're not there. So there's only one little place they're going to be, and it's in this corner, just to your right. So you probably should have expected them to be there. Yeah, so I think your centering was sort of okay, but you want to come out flying. You've got a nade, you've got a stun. Bounce a stun off this wall. That'll give you the advantage in the gunfight, because at the moment it's a 50-50 gunfight. If anything, I think it's a 60-50 gunfight in your favor, because they know you know where he is and they don't know where you are at this point. He only knows where your teammate is because you haven't shot yet. So yeah, make it. Yeah, that's tough. You probably should have read that gunfight, but I think your teammate gets the trade anyway. Yeah, 4v12 when you spawn in Narnia. Don't think you win this. What I do like though is that you've cut across the map directly and not wasted any time, and you just got to run at it. Ooh, windy shots a little bit there, but if I'm honest, I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah. Okay. So let's go through the good, the bad, and where I think your potential lies. So let's start with the good. You are clearly a shooter. You can clearly shoot straight. I understand why you were such a high rank in MW2, because that was very much a gun-to-gun gunfight sort of game. Spawns were fairly easy to read, so there wasn't any such sort of advanced learnings to be done compared to this game. So I understand why you're quite a high rank in MW2, because as I say, you can shoot pretty straight. Let's be real here, and you know that you got a 40 bomb, I think, this game. So it's clear, even to yourself, that you can shoot fairly straight. The other thing I want to say is that you are very confident in your gunfights. You're taking on gunfights well. You're checking where you should be checking. And you get the gist of where they're going to be coming from. You sort of know where the enemies are going to be spawning or where they're going to be coming from. So yeah, you're a gamer. You can clearly shoot straight, and I think they're definitely the main positives I see out of this gameplay, at least. Now, there's a couple of things I want to say that probably could be built upon, and the first things comes from decision making. So there were many circumstances in this gameplay where you were top third and you dropped down to top third when there was no one to bump you off. When I say bump you off, I mean there's someone up there to say, okay, I've just got to top third behind you, you can go. That's what I mean by bumping. That's the only real reason you should be jumping off top third when you have that much map control. As I say, control is all about map control. If you've got it, don't pull back ever, or don't lose the map control. So yeah, just bear in mind that, especially if you've got teammates, like I think the second occurrence where you jumped off top third into A, you even had a teammate pretty much about to kill the guy on A. Trust your teammates to do the work and maintain that map control. You've probably got even more kills, and realistically, maybe won the game. Next thing I want to mention is utility usage. And when I say utility usage, I mean stuns, frags, and trophies. I don't think I saw you use a trophy at all in the entire gameplay. And obviously, you can use it to, benefit you as well as your team. You don't have to be on the point to throw a trophy down. If you're top third, throw it down. It will stop you, reduce your chance of dying. If you're anywhere on the map, if you're on a common choke point on the map, throw it down. It will enable your teammates just to run through it without being stunned or naded. It's not there just to benefit you. It may open up opportunities for your team. As I say, I don't think you died to many stuns or nades, but you may have been able to put one on the floor to stop your teammates dying because of a stun or a nade, for example. So use your stuns, use your nades, use your trophies. Try and do that a little bit more. Sorry, there was one other good thing I forgot to say, and that was kill cam usage. You use your kill cams to get info that you wouldn't have had otherwise, so that's a plus in my books, especially considering you were solo queuing. And then the final thing I want to say, and I want you to take this away and try and improve upon it if possible, is control spawn knowledge. Very basically, if your teammate are pushed up the right hand side of the map, they're going to spawn left. If you push up the left hand side of the map, they're going to spawn right. If you push up both sides, they're going to spawn middle but deeper. That's the general gist, but I want you to try and learn the spawns, go away, watch a CDL. If you go into the Call of Duty League YouTube, you can watch a recording of a game. You can skip ahead to the control itself and just watch the minimap, learn where people are spawning, learn what's influencing the spawns. It shouldn't take any more than 15-20 minutes, but it's going to influence your control gameplays to be far better, or at least you're going to win by many more. You're going to win many more control games by doing so. So yeah, two things I want you to try and take away. Learn your spawns on control if possible. As I say, it shouldn't be too difficult. It's not like hardpoint spawns. They're a lot easier to learn than hardpoint spawns. And secondly, try and make it a good habit to use your stuns and nades if possible. Learn where, watch people better than you, see where they're throwing them, see what they're doing with their stuns and nades and how frequently they're using them, and just see how that differs to your gameplay here. So yeah, they're the two things I want you to try and take away: spawns and utility usage. Potential rank. I've seen a lot of Crimsons shoot less straight than you. And if you iron out a couple of these issues, obviously I'm not sure how good you are at hardpoint or search and destroy because I don't have that. But based on this control gameplay itself, I definitely see you reaching Crimson. Maybe Crim 1 at this point. You can shoot straight, you're clearly a gamer. You just need to fine-tune a couple of knowledge bits and use your stuns and nades and you're going to be flying. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay if you're not this person. And I hope you enjoyed the feedback if you are. Now, if there's any comments or questions you have on this, even if you haven't, even if you're not Hamza who's submitted the gameplay, you can leave a comment down below, or you can contact me on Discord privately, for which I can reply in a little bit of a longer format if it's a little bit more complicated. Yeah, that'll do from me for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.